I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's amazing what I've learned in terms of health thus far. It is 100% your excuses. Your excuses. And I used to not believe one person that would tell me that when they started to train people, when they started to become a personal trainer. They would always say, it's amazing that a lot of these people are really just making any excuse to not commit to something. And that is the reason that they're failing, is because they want their cake and to eat it too. I'm not even going to edit this video. This is what it is. I'm so sorry. If that's what you came here for, I'm always so sorry if people don't fucking like me enough to watch this. But if you are, and you're on the verge of trying to change your life, and you need company to motivate you, then by all means, here I am. They used to tell me that it is people's excuses, and they would get frustrated and they would get pissed and they would tell me, you know what, you could be a personal trainer, because I feel like you have so much more patience and more compassion for when people mess up and for all the things they might be saying. But I cannot do it. It pisses me off. It's a waste of time. I just feel like I'm never getting anywhere with anybody, because if that's the case, anything could be a fucking excuse. And mind you, that this person who was telling me this is also somebody who could have made 10 out of 10 of these people's excuses their own excuse, and they didn't. This woman is like I don't know if she's like 5'2" or 5'1", I can't even fucking remember. And had 5 children and was still raising 4 at the time that I met them, meaning, you know, those 4 were completely dependent on her. Were not old enough to obviously go out and get a job and get their own place to live or anything like that. And all the time I've known her, I watched her go from, you know, a 3-bedroom apartment having 4 children. And before that, she said that she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and they all slept on one bed. All of them. All the kids lined up with her, so that way they could have somewhere to sleep. So when I had met her, they just got out of that situation. And from there, she went on to live in the next place she lived in a condo in a different place, different zip code, different city, way more expensive, in California. And then rented a huge home with 5 bedrooms, or my apologies, 3 more bedrooms, but bigger living space, bigger garage, all that, a yard, and then finally has now recently bought her own home in a different city, but bought her own home and has a master's degree. And all throughout all of that, she was waking up at 4 in the morning and working out before she would even go to work. And not only that, being a single mom. And I think between 3 baby daddies, one of them had unfortunately passed away a long time ago when that first baby was 1. And sorry to put all her business out here, but if that's not a reason, and also received no support, you know, and also had such a kind and compassionate heart, didn't take any of those guys to to court to get a court-ordered child support, you know, note. None of it. She just said, okay, you know, whatever, but if I asked for something, then hopefully they would pay. I mean, she never asked. She would just hope that these guys would help provide for their children. And I think only one of them really made something of himself, because one passed away and one of them just didn't. And even then, so she would much rather had been alone, because she wasn't fulfilled in the relationship. So she knows she'd be fine just being a mom, single. That's fine, you know. And she would drop them off at school. Yeah, sometimes whenever some of them got older, they had to walk, but regardless, they lived close enough that they could. It was amazing. And she always made that effort to show up for herself, and would go to bed early as hell. early as fuck, you know, so that way she can get up at 4 in the morning and still do that. And she didn't go to on-campus school. She went to online class on her laptop and got her master's degree. And I want to say she sells insurance. If not, owns, is a manager of doing something now. But regardless, I watched her completely change her life. And I think that would have been what? I think by 2020. And I met her in 2024. Oh, sorry, 2014, something like that. Or 2012. It was amazing. And she went at her own pace. And she's youthful. And she's got a beautiful spirit. And she's fun. And she's hardworking. And I want to cry because she didn't make an excuse. And she would complain all the fucking time. But she would still do it. If that wasn't a relief enough for her to just complain, and that's all she needed to do was just get out and be like, I don't want to fucking do this. She'd always be making jokes. I don't want to fucking do this, but I'm going to do it. Because if I don't do it, I'll get fat. Like, if I don't do it, then, And I miss her a lot. And I don't think I ever had anybody in my life, from my own family, treat themselves and work ethic like that, who weren't also rude to me growing up, and which prevented me from really wanting to bond with them. So I didn't have anybody in my life who was that aggressively dedicated to themselves or aggressively disciplined. And through all I've been able to do in my life, I've always been able to think of her, thankfully. And her story has given me the strength for myself. And I share that with you guys, to hopefully not just inspire you for this moment, because, it is a little. But it doesn't last, Motivation doesn't last. So I'm just here to tell you that your excuses are holding you back. I can make anything an excuse. Anything can be an excuse, but if there's a will, there's a way. And I watched that be the case for her. And be honest and tell the truth, as she did. And I'll never forget that. And I'm so glad I met her. And she really made me realize that it's possible for me, not just make me feel that way, but realize, like, oh, that's all she's doing. She's just wants it so bad that she'll do anything to have it. And she's like, my life is stressful, but when I don't go to the gym, I don't ever get that relief. She'd be a crank. She would say it. She's like, I'm a crank ass if I don't go to the gym. And now eventually it changed her life to the point where something happens to you in your brain where if you don't have that sense of relief, those endorphins releasing at the time of the workout, you will crave that. You are that healthy that your mind will literally crave that sensation of working out, and that's your new addiction. Which is amazing. It's amazing that is the case, that that's true. And it's easy to believe that that's not true. And it's easy to believe that it's not possible for you. And it's easier to believe that you can't do it because that means you're never going to be uncomfortable. And for certain, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. That it helps that be a reality. It helps that frame of mind. It helps those lifestyle choices be consistent in your life. It helps that. It's your perception. It is what you believe it to be. And that's hard for a lot of people. Because everything in their life is hard. And they might not have relief anywhere. And they're at such a far end of their journey, like, they're obese, they're miserable, they're going to get fired soon, they don't have savings, they're going to lose their car, it's going to get repoed, whatever the case is. So that way, if they do have an ounce of hope that there's, a means for them to change after that week, or even up until that next weekend that they have when they've made their commitment to health, they've already lost it because they had to realize, like, oh, inspiration fades, motivation fades. I was jumping through hoops whenever I was inspired. Oh, wait, I have to keep doing that. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Oh, I wasn't going to get there in a week. Oh, I wasn't going to get there in a month. Oh, I'm not there and it's halfway through the year. Oh, I'm not there and, it's 2 years later. And I'm even bigger and more in debt. I didn't progress in my career. I didn't go to school, whatever the case is. I didn't decide to take a risk to open that business. I didn't decide to allocate my money better. I didn't decide to do my budget. I didn't decide to be kinder. I didn't decide to be more compassionate, and it got me here. I didn't decide to work for myself, work hard for myself, and not care about anybody else. I decided to be so invested in everybody else's lives around me that was so much of a distraction that it just started to make me believe that I couldn't do anything because I was comparing myself to them and their success, and their journey looked so much faster than mine. And so I just decided to say, well, I must be doing something wrong. I'm probably not meant for it. This sucks. I don't think I can do it. It's that easy. It's that easy to give up without realizing that it's going to take a long time and it's going to be tough. And when you can accept that every single day, that you're going to buy that whole bag of Doritos that nobody's going to fire you for, and, you have to be conscious enough and aware, just like you're aware that you feel like you want to eat bad, and just like you're aware that you feel like you don't want to work out, you have to, in that moment, talk to yourself like a fucking father or a mom, and literally say, like a parent, and literally say, but if I have these, what will that mean for my goal? I might be set back. I might not get to my goal. This might lead me to make another bad decision later. If I drink this, I might just eat the world. If I smoke this, I might eat the world. If I hang out with these people, I might not give a fuck about what I had going on before I went to go hang out. These people don't got anything going on in their life. They're not working towards anything. And if I just want to spend my time with them because they make me laugh and they help me distract myself from how hard my goal is, then will I ever get back on the ball? All these reasons to just go with how you feel, and you're not thinking about what it means to make that choice. Just like how you're making that choice and what it means to you whenever you do commit. I'm having this chicken and broccoli because I'm supposed to commit to my goal to lose weight. You need to have that same awareness whenever you decide to go against that goal. And if you don't, your feelings will rule you, and you will be comfortable for the rest of your life, and you'll be a pillow. Like, I'm sorry. That's just how people get there. And people just think it's just because, I didn't know any better. Well, then now you know. Don't be afraid to have not known all this time. Don't be fearful of not being able to show up so long as you show up. Doesn't matter how late you are, so long as you show up.